an actual gun to a working stove. Here are 75 of the best Minecraft build hacks. Let's kick things off with this realistic sniper rifle. All you need to do is push an armor stand into 3 lightning rods and voila! Do your beaches feel lonely with only sand and turtles around? Well, with a few materials and a little bit of time, you can add a new friend. Simply dig 3 blocks down, place 5 layers of snow, then cover it back up and place an acacia button on that spot. Finally, dispense an armor stand down and put on a dragon head. This looks so cute. Or if beaches aren't your thing, you can spice up your farms instead with a scarecrow. Just build 2 blocks high, add a trapdoor and a fence. After that, push a mini scarecrow into it and done. Oh, and don't forget the little flower pot on the head. Everyone needs a hat. And have you ever wished these were just a little bit bigger? Well, you can add a flower pot on top of a decorated pot. Now you can put any plant you like into your giant vase. Frog lights are already gorgeous little things, but what if we could make them better? With just 4 white banners and some hanging signs, you can turn them into flying lanterns. These look amazing at night. Fake trees have been a long-time staple in builds since the beginning of Minecraft, but did you know that you can make them without wood? All you need to do is take some mangrove saplings or shrubs and a leaf block on top, and you can make tiny little fake trees that look adorable. In Minecraft, there's a couple of different ways to tell the time, but no way to tell the date. There's an easy fix though, with a birch trapdoor and a painting. Just put them together like this to make a calendar. Does it feel like your Minecraft build isn't quite sleek and sharp enough? Maybe you're missing a cutting-edge decoration. Using some stairs, chains, pistons, and an end rod, you can make a simple katana stand. It's a shame this one's only for display. Imagine how sick it would be to use an actual katana in-game. I found this next one so long ago, but it's still so good. If you ever get bored of seeing the same pattern in your stone walls, you can put some string on top of them to make them a little bit higher. It works like a charm as an added detail, especially in larger fenced-off areas. And sometimes the simplest tips just work best. By adding some lecterns to your stairs, you can give them unique built-in railings. Be careful though, as they won't actually stop you from falling. Some players have managed to recreate all kinds of sports in Minecraft. However, basketball was always out of reach, literally. However, with a slime block, piston, and some pressure plates, you can make a dunking machine that'll make you the next LeBron James. Minecraft may not have chairs or even sitting mechanics, but that hasn't stopped people from trying. Using 3 campfires, 2 signs, and some spruce trapdoors, you can make the best looking bench in Minecraft. There's one last thing. Don't forget to put out the fire. If you're making couches using stairs, you're a noob. Real gamers spruce their furniture game up by using planks as the backrest, slabs as the actual seat, and finally stairs on the sides as the armrests. But we can't talk about couches without talking about chairs too. Fortunately for this chair hack, you won't even need stairs at all. Instead, use a campfire with 4 trapdoors to make this cozy little chair that actually has a big enough backrest. Perfect for the enormous back Steve has. I still don't understand how he can carry 2,000 blocks of gold and not break a sweat. But what if you wanted your chairs to actually be functional? Believe it or not, even that's possible. Just put a chest into the ground with a minecart on top of it, then push a slab into them, voila! A chair you can actually sit on. Did you know that you can also add pillows to your sofas? Use banners like this. They turn out kind of dark on their own though, but there's an easy fix for that too. If you want colorful pillows, all you need to do is put a torch next to the banners so that their colors show. It's also pretty common to use upside down stairs as desks, but with a bit of extra work, you can make it a lot more convincing. By using blocks and a slab in this pattern, you can put an item frame on each of the ends. Then you can put an anvil in them like this before putting a sign on top. These drawers won't store any of your diamonds though. I know everyone's gone through the phase of putting literal paper into an item frame to act as toilet paper. Well, our younger selves may have been on the right track with that one. If you use a button and an item frame with a piece of wool instead, it's gonna look much more realistic. We all know that underwater Minecraft is pretty colorful, but what about above water? All we get there are lily pads, and not much else. Now, you might know about putting coral on a slab to make it look like a flower, but to really take this to the next level, add an item frame and a colorful block to act as the flower's center. Additionally, to really rock your Minecraft world, you can elevate the last tip by adding some fake rocks. You can even take this further by making sure that the part of the rock that's underwater is a bit mossy, just like in real life. Ever since they've been added to Minecraft, chiseled bookshelves have been some of the most used blocks in recent builds. I mean, just look at how versatile they are. You can even make a letterbox out of them with a log placed on its side, some mangrove doors, a trapdoor, and a button. Have you ever crafted 64 buttons by accident while trying to make sticks? Well, don't throw them away just yet. If the cool string hack wasn't giving you the texture you wanted, you could put buttons on top of fences to make them look even cooler. If you've ever kept some plants around for decoration, it can get a little annoying when they actually grow. Thankfully, there's an easy fix for this. Put some string on top of it. It'll block the growth, and it's also invisible. Simple fountains are an easy way to make your build a little fancier. But why stop there? You can add a splash of creativity to them by making the water move. Using water-breathing arrows and a slime piston, you can make a redstone clock that pushes the arrows up over and over. You might have heard of using signs as planks and boards on worn-down houses, but there's a cool trick to make it look even better. Just put one O in each corner so that it looks like a nail that's keeping it in place. People who terraform always amaze me. You guys have an eye for detail while working on such a large scale. Hopefully, this tip makes your life a little bit easier when you're trying to make caves prettier. If you hold shift while placing pointed dripstone, you can stop the tips from merging, giving the impression of incredibly tight and dangerous crevices. And speaking of terraforming, there's an easy way to make your sandy spots look less boring as well. Just weave in some smooth sandstone stairs alongside regular blocks to give the look of a more gradual slope. As a bonus, if it's in water, it looks like wet sand packed close together, which is exactly what happens in real life. The new crafter block has a unique design, which means it has some pretty niche uses. When put at the side of a wall, it looks like a grate or a vent. Well, that's certainly more convincing than using iron bars. Minecraft may not have some serious temperature mechanics yet, but don't let that stop you from making an air conditioner or heater. The sides of a loom kinda look like the vents of those two machines, so just plop it into a wall and put a button next to it to really heat things up. Signs are great and all, but they're quite limited when it comes to what you can actually write. Sometimes you want a message to be a little bigger. Well, for that, you can use Unicode squares to form big letters that can be seen from afar much more clearly. It's perfect for marketplaces or malls. Industrial builds in Minecraft are often a breeze with how many stone and metal blocks there are available, but there's a way to make it look even better. You can get some of the best pipes you'll ever see by using the wooden part of pistons to make a line. Scaffolding has proven itself to be the best block we've ever gotten for building with how generally useful it is. Everyone's definitely used it while building, but have you ever considered using it in the building? Well, you'd be surprised, but they actually make for really cool small windows. Finally, something else than just glass. Despite the many leaf block variations we have in Minecraft, sometimes it isn't quite enough. I mean, there's not a massive difference between them unless you look closely enough. To change it up, you can use a block of clay with some vines all around it to make it appear like a more opaque and densely packed leaf block. This makes it perfect for hedges or small bushes. Bridges in Minecraft can look a little silly sometimes. I mean, a narrow little row of blocks is enough to get you through a massive ravine, and even if you don't technically need it, giving your bridges some support looks a little better. So for massive metal or concrete bridges, use andesite walls to give the effect of a metal framework. In my opinion, they work like magic. This one is a little bit less of a building hack and more of a builder's hack, but I had to include it. You've probably all felt the pain of having to look at the bottom of builds. With the spyglass, however, you can skip all of that and have a close look at your block placement without doing any extra work. Living on water sounds cool in theory, but in practice, you'll find that making a believable island from scratch is much harder than you think. So why not save your time and build on a giant lily pad instead? And when your friends come to visit, they'll be extremely jealous. Painting and pressure plate computers are an old classic, but there's a way you can put a fresh new twist to it. By using a Blackstone button, you can make it seem like your computer has a mouse. Now, if only it was that easy to upgrade your computer in real life. Corals are amazing for decorations, especially with how easy it is to waterlog blocks. If you've grown tired of the same old poppies and dandelions on your windowsill, why not add a little color to your life by using corals instead? This is one of the best stove designs you'll see ever. With a campfire, a hopper minecart, and an iron trapdoor, you can combine them to make a stove that looks realistic and has smoke coming out of it. Everyone sees Minecraft pets as their real pets. Yes, it's that serious. So much effort is put into building houses for them and naming them, so why not give them a place to eat as well? If you take a pot and put it in the ground, then slap a carpet over it, it'll look like a little pet bowl. Now little zombie dust won't have to starve. You can do the same thing on top of a dinner table and it looks like a plate. Regular TNT? Nah, that's getting old. With these new pots, you can light a candle on top of them to get a massive bomb. They may not have actual explosions, but decorating with them is sure to be a blast. Forests in real life aren't nearly as lush as the ones in-game. If you want to go for a more realistic bamboo forest, you can make dead bamboo using bamboo fences with a sea pickle on top. Only in Minecraft will you find people actually decorating with dead plants. If you think corals aren't good enough, you can use green glass panes alongside candles to use as water plants. These kind of look like bulrushes poking out the top of the water. You know one thing that's missing in most Minecraft bathrooms? Towels. With an item frame, some stairs, and a colored banner, you can make what looks like a towel on a hanger. We have some chests to use as storage, but where's the fun in seeing them lay around like that? With a composter, a fence gate, and a grindstone, you can make a simple wheelbarrow like this. If you put an armor stand in the ground as well, you can make it even better by adding a pumpkin inside it. Over the years, there's been many different chimney designs used for all kinds of houses houses in Minecraft. Sometimes though, the simple designs are the best. Just one pot is enough to make a good chimney, and it'll save your resources too. Regular clocks are fun and all, but wouldn't it be nice if they were a little grander? With some trapdoors, an item frame, and a lightning rod, you can make a grandfather clock. You ever get tired of slapping a sign on top of some stone and calling it a grave? Well, you can dig a hole into the ground and line up 6 lecterns like this to make a coffin. It has the bonus of being a little spooky as well. You can write with a book and quill just fine, but wouldn't it be nice if you had something to set the mood? If you hide a lectern within a long table like this, it looks like the perfect writing desk. Storing all your valuables in a single chest is boring. I mean, if they're so valuable, you might as well make it look the part. All you need to do is grab some barrels for the side, put spruce planks in the middle, spruce and oak stairs for the lid, and a banner as the lock. Now your treasure room can look a little more fancy. Putting lanterns on the ceiling is a great way to decorate while lighting the place up, but there's a way to really elevate them. Put an item frame on the spot you want to put it in, and put any block that matches the lantern you want to use. There aren't any big explosive weapons in Minecraft, but there's no stopping us from building a replica. If you lay out blackstone fences like this, it looks like a cannon. Armor stands are old news. There are new and better ways to show off cool weapons and armor these days. You can make it look like a sword is stuck in the ground if you put an end rod upside down with a candle on top of it. If you know this trick, then you're a certified veteran. Back in the day, we only really had torches and glowstone to light places up, but they didn't always fit the aesthetic of the build. To fix this, people put glowstone on the floor and put carpet over it to hide it. If you ask me, this is a timeless design. It's so annoying whenever you fall into your water source in farms. It takes a bit to get out, and you also sometimes accidentally trample your crops. But there's an easy fix for all of that. Just put some carpet on top of it and you'll be able to walk over it like normal. This goes without saying, but Minecraft can be a little flat sometimes. It may not be a big deal for the most part, but a lot of builds look better with some depth to them. If you ever want your pathways to look a little nicer, you can scatter some stone buttons around to act as pebbles. Do you want to turn your beaches into tourist spots? Well, with some fences, some beds, a clay block, and a flower pot, you can make a little parasol. It can protect both you and your undead friends from the summer sun. When the campfire design becomes a little stale, you can always switch it up with some armor stands. If you drop it into a hole at different rotations like this and add a torch on top of it, it looks like a little campfire. Have you ever noticed that cherry wood looks like a little block of ham? If you put it on top of a campfire like this, it totally looks like you're cooking a slab of meat. Who looks at a wood block and thinks that looks delicious? There's another food trick you can do with cherry wood as well, this time with a log that has bark all over. If you put a sea pickle on top of it, it kinda looks like a big eggplant. It's perfect for decorating your pumpkin and melon farms. Speaking of decorating farms, you don't have to stop at just displaying plants. You can display your tools as well. With a birch hanging sign and some bamboo fences, you can make what looks like a shovel shoved into the ground. You don't have to stick with the same boring old crops and plants as well. With some turtle helmet armor stands on top of daylight sensors, you can make what looks like a little cabbage patch. This banner design has been going around since forever, but it's too good not to mention. It's basically just brown borders around a blue banner like this. You can also put a white line for some added detail. If you place 2 spruce trapdoors on the floor like this, it kinda looks like a door that's fallen over. If your path needs more than pebbles as decoration, you can use lily pads as fallen leaves. Remember to waterlog a slab so that you can put the lily pad anywhere on the ground. You don't have to stop at paintings for computer monitors. You can use banners to make any design you want as your wallpaper. The bottom part even looks like the monitor stand. There's only so many designs you can do with carpets themselves, but some signs can help add some variation. All you need to do is put them under the floor in any way you want, and it'll look like patterns in the carpet. Don't worry though, you won't fall into the floor. A bell is always a welcome decoration to have in towns and villages, but it looks kinda odd just sitting there. To make it look a little better, you can make a bell stand involving a fence and leash something to it. One thing though, remember to hide the poor soul that's stuck there forever. Putting torches on fences alongside paths is so boring. Why settle for that when you could make a proper lantern? Just put a jack-o'-lantern on top of a lectern and put some acacia trapdoors all around it. It can be a bit difficult to find good light sources for more modern builds. Thankfully, end rods work perfectly as LED lights.